Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. In our today's lecture, we are going to start our chapter number 3, which is a transport layer. So let's start. What are the content that we'll cover in this chapter? So the contents are introduction and transport layer services, multiplexing and demultiplexing, connectionless transport, principle of reliable data transfer, connection oriented transport, and congestion control. So these are the main content that we are going to learn in this chapter. So let's start with the first is the introduction and transport layer services. So basically, first let's understand what is a transport layer. We already learned the transport layer in our OSI model. So the transport layer is the fourth layer in the open system interconnection, which is a OSI model, and is responsible for end-to-end communication over the network. Yes, we all know that transport layer is the heart of the OSI layer, or for any networking communication, transport layer is important, or it plays a key role for any communication. So it provides a logical communication between application processes running on different hosts within a layered architectures of protocols and other network components. Yes, so mainly the communication is done via the transport layer. On the sender side, the transport layer breaks an application messages into the segments, it is also called the packets, and passes them on the network layer. Yes, so on the sender side, the work of transport layer is it divides the messages into the packets, and that packets is further transferred to the network layer. And on the receiving side, transport layer resembles that segments or the packets into the whole message and passes them to the application layer. So the main work of dividing and resembling the packets are done via transport layer. The transport layer is also responsible for management of error correction, providing quality and reliability of the end user. Also the flow control is also provided by the transport control. So there are many services, many functionalities that is provided by the transport layer of the OSI model. The protocols which is used in the transport layer for the communications are the TCP and the UDP that we will learn in our later sessions. So here, what is a protocol, or what is the functions of the protocols? So basically the properties of the protocols are ordered delivery of message, guarantees message delivery, protocol supports large messages, each host supports a multiple application processes, protocol supports a data transfer speed between the sender and receiver. So we all know what is a protocols. Yes, the set of rules for the communications are called the protocols. That protocol is already defined by the many organizations like ISO. Yes, now what is the work of the protocol, and what we can achieve, what we can do with that protocols? So by following the protocols, ordered delivery means we are segmenting, we are dividing our data packets. Yes, and the data packet is traveled through multiple routes, but at the receiver side, with the help of the protocols, that unordered packages, that unordered message are first reassembled, but that reassembled message are in order, so we can easily convert that packets into a actual or the real message. So based on their identity numbers, with the help of protocols, that packet is delivered in an ordered manner. Guaranteed message delivery. Yes, if the packet is not delivered at the receiver side, or some packet is dropped on the routes, So retransmission of the packets are done with the protocols. So that is why guarantees message delivery. Protocol supports a large messages. We can send a huge amounts of or the large size messages on the network with the help of protocols. Each host supports a multiple application processes. Yes, multiple application processes. So in the one application, it is not necessary that only one process is running. We can run multiple processes on the one host or one computer, and we can communicate with that multiple processes simultaneously. So that is done via the protocols. Protocol supports a data transfer speed between sender and receiver. We all know that it provides a flow control. So the managing the speed is also done with the help of protocols. So these are the properties of protocol. Now let's understand which types of protocols are available. So the Internet Assigned Number Authority. This is one organization same as ISI or OSI. So this is one networking community. So Internet Assigned Number Authority, it is also called IANA, is a standard organization that oversees the global IP addresses allocation, autonomous system number allocation, root zone management in the DNS, media types and other internet protocol related symbols and internet numbers that is provided by this organization called Internet Assigned Number Authority. So this authority has divided the port numbers into three ranges. Yes, the three ranges are well-known ports, registered ports and dynamic ports. Now we all know what is a ports. With the help of ports we can differentiate the processes. So the port numbers are ranges from 0 to 65,535, but only the port numbers of 0 to 1024, 0 to 1023 are reserved for a privileged services and designated as a well-known ports. So the well-known ports are mostly used port numbers if we are using any services, and at the end of that IP addresses the port number we are seeing is in between 0 to 1023, because that are the port number that is that most processes are used. So that is why it is called the well-known ports, and that is why we are mostly or most frequently using that port numbers. The next category is a registered port numbers. So the registered port numbers are in between 1024 to 49,151. So that are called the registered ports. The registered port numbers are the port numbers that companies and other users register with the Internet Corporation for assign names and numbers for used by the application that communicate using the internet's protocol. Yes, so these protocols are already registered with one organization named ICANN. So that is why this is called the registered ports, and these port numbers are used by the companies and the other users register with the other users. So that is why it is called the registered ports, because it is registered by the one organization or one networking organization. And the third category is dynamic ports or the private ports. So the range is between 49,152 to 65,535. So the dynamic ports numbers are the port numbers that are available for use by any application to use in a communication with any other application. Suppose we are connecting on the internet, and now I want to communicate with my friend. So that communication is done at the real time. Yes, so at that time the communication, at that time of communication, the port number is used dynamically. At that time the port number is assigned. Yes, for that communication purpose only. So that is why it is called a dynamic port. Rather than these three categories, well-known ports, registered and dynamic ports, there is one another type of port number is available, that is called the amperial ports. So an amperial port is a temporary communication hub used for the internet protocol communications. It is created from a set range of ports numbers by IP softwares and used as a end client's port assignment in a direct communication with a well-known port used by a server. Amperial means a temporary or short-lived, as it is characteristics of this type of port. So in short, in the client server processes, process use the protocols, and the client initiates the communication with the server through one of many well-known ports. So however, because the server does not initialize communication, it should not use a well-known ports to send a replies to the client. Just in case a server type application is running on that client device, instead the server to the client uses a new temporarily assigned port numbers that client provides as a source port. So that is called the amperial ports. For the temporary communication, the port number is used are called the amperial ports. So after the communication is terminated, the port number, so the port become the available for use in the another session. So however, it is usually used only after the entire port range is used up. So that is called the amperial ports. Now the next topic is a transport layer services. So the transport layer provides many types of services that we already know, but let's understand some of these services in detail. So the following categories of services are useful for describing the transport services. First is the type of service, quality of service, data transfer, user interface, connection management, status reporting, and security. So let's understand each in details. The first is a type of service. So the transport layer provides two types of services, which is a connection oriented and connection less services. In a connection oriented service, the service provides for the establishment, maintenance, and termination of a logical connection between the transport service users. The connection less allows a feature such as flow control, error controls, and the reliable delivery. So that is the first category of transport service. Types of services is a connection less and connection oriented service. So transport layer provides both types of services, connection less and connection oriented. In the connection oriented, connection establishment, maintenance, and terminations types of things is maintained, while in the connection less, error control, flow controls, reliable deliveries are provided. Second is a quality of services. So the transport protocol entity should allow the transport service user to specify the quality of transmission service to be provided. So which type of quality services is provided by transport layer are the error and loss levels, desired average and maximum delay, throughputs, priority, quickly recover from difficulties. So in the transport layer, error and loss levels is minimized. Desired average and maximum delay, yes, so delay will be reduced and throughput will be maximized. Also the priority level is also set by the transport layer, that which message has a maximum priority, so that message is transferred first. So that is also done with the transport layer services. Third is a data transfer. So it transfers the data between two transport entities. Both user data and control data must be transferred. Full duplex services must be provided. Half duplex and simplex mode also be offered. We already know what is a full duplex, half duplex, and simplex. So that is also used by the transport layer, and the data will be transferred to one entity to another entity. You, next is a user interface. So there is not clear mechanism for the user interface to transport protocol should be standardized. So till now there is not any user interface created for the transport layer services. Yes. Next is a connection management. So if connection oriented service is provided, the transport entity is responsible for establishing and terminating the connection. So here the establishing of the connection, and when the connection will terminate it, so that thing is also managed by the transport layer services. The next is a status reporting. So it gives the following information like addresses, performance characteristics of connection, class of protocol in use, current time values. Yes. With the transport layer is also provided services like data transfer, reliable data transfer, flow control, many things. But at that same time, it also take care of status of each and every connection. It maintains which addresses are used, how was the performance of that connection, which protocol is used, in which class of protocol is used. Is a well-known register or the dynamic. Yes. So that status is also maintained by the transport layer services. Next is a security. So the transport entity may provide a variety of security services. It provides the encryptions and decryption of data. Data entity may be capable of routing through secure links or nodes if such a service is available from transmission facility. So at the time of OSI model, I already said that if I want to secure my message, then we'll encrypt that message from sender side, and that encrypted message is decrypted at the receiver side. So that functionality is provided by the transport layer services. So these are the main services of the transport layer. So in this lecture we have learned about what is a transport layer services, what is the functionality of transport layer, or what is the role of transport layer in the OSI model, properties of the protocols, and also we have learned what are the different types of ports are available and the ranges of that ports, and the services of transport layer. So thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.